The Crithian supremacy had conquered 400 star systems over 2 millennia. They were masters of subjugation, experts in breaking the will of lesser species. When their scouts discovered Earth, a primitive world only just achieving faster-than-light travel, Emperor Draxnil saw opportunity. The declaration was broadcast across every human colony. By order of the Crithian supremacy, the species designated human is hereby classified as labor class Omega. All human territories are now property of the Empire. Comply, and you'll be treated fairly. Resist, and you will be eliminated. They expected negotiation, perhaps defiance, maybe even a small, feudal military response that they could crush to make an example. They got none of those things. Earth went silent for 72 hours. Every human colony, every station, every ship, complete radio silence. The Crithian fleet assumed surrender and moved to occupy the Sol system. That's when they learned what humanity meant by silence. It wasn't surrender. It was preparation. The first Crithian battle group jumped into Earth's orbit and found themselves facing a defense grid that shouldn't have existed. Humanity had been in space for barely 50 years. Their technology was centuries behind the Empire's. Yet the weapons that opened fire were unlike anything in Crithian records. Kinetic bombardment platforms that violated 3 laws of physics. Viral cyber weapons that turned ship AIs against their crews. And something the humans called relativistic kill missiles. Telephone pole-sized tungsten rods accelerated to 90% light speed. The battle group was destroyed in 4 minutes. All 37 ships. Emperor Draxnil was furious but unconcerned. He sent a full invasion fleet, 600 warships, enough firepower to crack a planet's crust. Humanity couldn't possibly have more of those weapons. He was right. They didn't have more of the same weapons. They had different ones. The human fleet that met them wasn't composed of warships. They were colony vessels, freighters, mining ships, civilian craft hastily retrofitted with weapons that made Crithian admirals question reality itself. Ships that could jump mid-battle with precision that should be impossible. Drones that learned and adapted faster than organic pilots could react. And worst of all, humans who fought with a suicidal determination that terrified even hardened Crithian warriors. But the true horror came when Earth revealed its final answer to the slavery declaration. The Terran Federation didn't just defend. They attacked. Human fleets appeared simultaneously in 40 Crithian systems. Not military targets, but the homeworlds of every species that had voted in favor of humanity's enslavement. The message that accompanied the strikes was simple. You declared our children slaves. We declare your empires extinct. It wasn't war. It was extermination delivered with industrial efficiency. Humans had spent their entire history perfecting the art of total war against each other. Turning those methods on alien civilizations was terrifyingly effective. Within 6 months, the Crithian supremacy collapsed. 14 member species surrendered unconditionally. 8 others simply ceased to exist. Not because humanity killed every individual, but because their governments, infrastructure, and military capabilities were so thoroughly destroyed that they'd regress to pre-industrial societies for generations. Emperor Draxnil stood in the ruins of his throne world, watching human dropships land. He'd expected armies. Instead, a single human officer walked up to him, a woman who looked barely old enough to be a soldier. "Why?" he rasped, his voice broken. "We would have treated you fairly. Labor class, yes, but fed, sheltered, protected." Captain Jennifer Hayes looked at him with eyes that held no mercy. "You don't understand. For 5,000 years, humans have fought against slavery. We burned our own cities to end it. We wrote it into our most sacred documents that all beings are born free. Our ancestors died in chains, so we wouldn't have to." She leaned closer. "You didn't just threaten to enslave us. You threatened to enslave our children, our future, everything our ancestors died to prevent." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "There is no fury in this galaxy like a human parent protecting their child. You didn't declare war on soldiers. You declared war on every mother, every father, every human who remembers what slavery cost us. Draxnil watched as more human ships filled his sky. What happens now? Now, we rebuild. We'll help your people recover. The civilians who had no choice in your government's decision. We're not monsters. She turned to leave, then paused. But your empire? Your legacy? We're erasing it so completely that in 100 years, scholars will debate whether the Crithian supremacy even existed. As she walked away, Draxnil understood his final, fatal mistake. He'd assumed humanity's greatest weakness was their lack of natural weapons, their soft bodies, their short